My name is Trinity Moody, and I am getting my Bachelor's of Fine Arts at UNM with a focus on screenwriting. I started out in film completely new at this. I had dabbled in screenplays for maybe 2 years before that, but I just knew I did not want to be an author, and I was not allowed to watch TV when I was little, so it was still kind of novel. My first job as a production assistant was for End of the Road for Netflix, and then from there it was Dark Winds. There were a bunch of precautions around COVID on film sets at the time, and they needed a solid team of people to, do COVID tests every morning and to run around with so many cans of sanitizer, spraying anything that the actors had touched. In 2021, when I was working for Netflix, I started having my first seizures, and they got increasingly more intense. My epilepsy was unresponsive to meds, and my doctors didn't know what was causing them. I got diagnosed with this big brain tumor just out of the blue. So part of my hippocampus and part of my amygdala was taken out, and this would affect spatial recognition, people's faces, directions, and memory. And the biggest thing that was keeping me going was that in my neurological exam beforehand, they told me that my language and my composition and my writing, even my grip strength for a pencil, was out of this world. So that meant that if they took out that part of my brain, the rest of my brain would be able to compensate for those parts. That's why I needed to show myself that I could still write, so that if I didn't recognize your face, at least I could write a good story. Really wanted to regain that function, so I started writing a lot, really trying to prove something to myself about, still having the parts of my brain that I could use to my advantage.
Pictures up.
My capstone is called Bottom Out. The film follows these two high school jocks that get back together after a couple years apart while one's away at college, and they steal a purse from this woman who she's very vindictive, and she starts to chase them down. And along the way of their heist, they start to develop this tension that boils over in the end. I had a lot less to lose now because the script was for me more than it was for anyone else. Now that I found other queer actors, directors, filmmakers, I have built a really good team of people that I can keep working with, and working with people who in my circle understand me and understand what I'm after is really helped me to figure out my own identity. And I was able to start testosterone at the beginning of this year. So I've finally been able to start transitioning, which I started when I was 15, and in rural Maine it doesn't go as well as it could have. So I ended up going back in the closet for about 3 years, and working on a film set with people who are under the same circumstances as I am in and feel really underrepresented made it such an easy decision. I'm about a year older than I would have been when I graduated, and I kind of have an advantage because of that. I am able to kind of advocate for myself, and I can take advantage of the film program and networking and meeting people. Felt like a second chance. I call my brain surgery my second birthday. I still celebrate it because it feels like I'm a whole new person afterward.